My son's baseball coach told me I had to invite all 14 kids on the roster to a fishing weekend at my uncle's cabin, because that's his rule. I got the call at 7:40 on a Tuesday night. Coach Dayland, Travel 11U, introducing himself like I hadn't been standing at that fence for 2 full seasons. He asked if I was aware Rennick had been telling teammates about a trip. I said sure. My uncle has a place on a lake 3 hours north, and Rennick's turning 12 and asked if 4 of his friends could come up for a weekend of fishing. That's the whole thing. There was a pause. Then he said there was a team policy I might not know about. If players organize anything involving other players, the entire roster gets included and it goes through him first. I actually laughed because I thought he was messing with me. He didn't laugh back. I said, "This is my uncle's cabin, on a weekend with no games. I'm not clearing my family's plans with you." He went into a whole speech about chemistry and cliques, how splinter groups destroy a locker room, how he's seen it wreck teams. I told him I understood the concern, but there were 14 kids on that roster. Most would need a parent along, and my uncle's cabin sleeps 9 if half of them are on the floor. 1 bathroom, and a well that runs slow in August. He wasn't moving. "Mr. Vasquez, I've been coaching 18 years. There's a reason I have this rule." I asked him whether Rennick's friends from his school team counted, since 2 of the 4 kids weren't even on his roster. "Those aren't my players," he said, "but your son's teammates are, and that makes it my business." That's about where I stopped being polite. "Your authority ends when practice ends. This is a private weekend at a private cabin with my family." He raised his voice. "If it involves my players, it involves me. That's not negotiable." We went around another 5 minutes. He kept saying he knew what he was doing, that I needed to respect his experience, that parents who undermine team culture create problems for their kids. Then I lost it a little. I said, "You've spent so long being obeyed by 11-year-olds that you've forgotten grown men don't have to listen to you. Your kingdom ends at the parking lot." He said he'd noted as a chemistry concern, and that it could affect Rennick's innings. I hung up. Then I sat at the kitchen table and thought about it for a while, and I got an idea. Saturday morning I got to the complex early, before warm-ups, and asked to speak to Coach Dayland and the league president together. Both were already there by the concession stand. I handed Dayland a stack of envelopes. "You're right about inclusion," I said. "I'm inviting everybody, all 14. He looked genuinely pleased with himself. He started saying something about how glad he was that I'd come around and understood what he was trying to build. Then I handed him the second page. "Since you were clear that this is a team function under your authority, I assumed you'd want to be there. So the trip's Thursday through Sunday. That's the Fairview doubleheader Friday night and the Saturday game against Cordell." The league president's head came up. "You can't take 14 rostered players out of 2 league games," he said. "Why not? Coach told me any activity involving his players is his to control. I'm just following his rule. He made it, so I assume he'll support forfeiting a doubleheader and driving up as the supervising coach." Dayland started stammering. That's not what You're pulling kids out of games. So now you care about the calendar," I said. "Interesting, because Tuesday night you told me your rules cover my family's private weekends. I'm just extending the same logic. If you can control what happens at my uncle's cabin, I can schedule team functions during game weekends." The president said, "Mr. Vasquez, I think there's been a misunderstanding about our policy." I told him there was no misunderstanding, and that I had the whole phone call recorded, because my phone logs unknown numbers automatically and I checked it twice before I came. Coach was very clear that any activity involving his players falls under his authority no matter when or where it happens. So either that's true and this Thursday trip is a team function, or it isn't true and he stays out of my family's business. Nobody said anything for a good 10 seconds. The president asked to hear it. I played about 40 seconds, the part where Dayland said it wasn't negotiable, in that voice he uses on the kids. Then Dayland said quietly that the cabin weekend was fine. 4 kids, whoever Rennick wanted. I gathered up all 14 envelopes off the table and put them back in my truck. Rennick got his innings. Dayland has never once brought up team chemistry to me again. My uncle's well held out, barely. 1 kid caught a 22-inch walleye and has not shut up about it since June.